Peter Wall made good on his promise. He has delivered the Argo blockchain to the Nasdaq. I am one happy shareholder, and for anyone else holding shares, they should be of the same opinion. We did a video 2 days ago explaining the possible scenarios, and what played out yesterday came as no surprise to me. Anyone who's watched the videos, it should come no surprise to you. A lot of the questions I got yesterday, I've had to repeat myself a lot. I have tried to prioritize messages, but it's getting to the point now, guys, where I'm just going to have to blanketly not reply. I don't want to be rude, that is not my intentions, but there's a lot of people that are following the channel, a lot of people are buying me coffees and supporting me. They're going to get my focus from now on, because a lot of the questions I'm getting, I'm pretty sure these people haven't even watched the videos. They're just jumping on and asking me, why hasn't this happened? And I'm going, did you not watch the video? You know, the only thing I can do to help you is by advising you guys, watch the videos, do your due diligence, understand the stock. Some of the questions, some of the stuff I've seen yesterday is absolutely disbelief. I cannot believe people are investing in something that know very little about Argo blockchain. And to be honest with you, some of the questions, I think people don't even understand what shares and stocks are actually about. It's mind-blowing that people give their money away. But anyway, that aside, let's get into today's video. Hopefully answer some of the questions, guys. Let's go. Yeah, coincidence. Yeah, coincidence. Yeah, coincidence. Something that happens by chance, I think not. What's the crack, everyone? Welcome back to Buy, Hold, Sell. I hope, of course, you are all well. Today's video, we're talking about Argo blockchain, my baby. I've got a lot to get through. I'm going to try and keep it quite simple, and I'm also going to try not to say the word guys. I think it's becoming a bit of a drinking game. I've been called on it a few times. Why do I keep saying guys so much? I guess it's just a go-to word to try and carry it through or to engage with you. Apologies if I'm saying it too much. I will try and reel it in. I'm always looking for improvement, so I take that as a positive bit of feedback. But yeah, if you're fancy a drinking game this weekend, by all means go in and watch my videos and drink every time I say guys. For those that watched the previous video, this is directly for you. Everybody else that is new to the channel, go in and perhaps watch that video, but I'll just give a summary. We talked about the different scenarios that could play out. One of the scenarios was that this went to Gape Town. The current shareholders in the LSE, Arbkf, would perhaps have a massive drop. Okay. We talked about the ADS going on at $18.40. I did say in my previous video that $18.40 was, you're pretty sure that it wasn't going to be that. It could have been higher and it could have been lower. The reason being, it's based on a share price. However, not too sure where the entry price of $15 came from. I don't have clarity on that. If anybody can please share the light, that'll be good. I would really appreciate that, but I don't think anybody kind of got where that came from. It was based on a 10-to-1 ratio on the LSE, and that just doesn't tie up. If you do your math, it just doesn't tie up, which we'll get into in a moment. But listen, it went on at $15. That is why yesterday, before the Nasdaq listing, we seen a pullback on the LSE, because Argo had pitched it at the stock being worth $15. LSE was priced too high. It was more towards the $20 mark. So that's why we've had a pullback. I'm okay with that because I understand it. I had a nibble. If anyone has me on Instagram will have seen I had a nibble at yesterday's 12% drop. Threw an extra bit in around the 142 mark. The reason being, we still did not know. It still could absolutely drop. So I thought, that's a nice pullback, 12%. I'll take that. So I bought a wee bit. That was that. I sat patiently. Again, if you have me on my socials, you will have seen I've been waiting very patiently for the Nasdaq listing to go. It was a long process. We did say that it wouldn't necessarily be straight at the bell, 2:30. We've had other IPOs we've talked about in the channel. That doesn't happen. It takes time. Once it got to about 3:30, I put into, I think it was a Telegram group, I was going, this isn't going live until after 4:30, guys. So, it is what it is. I went away, did my work, did whatever I wanted, and just came back. And sure enough, after 4:30 bell, it went live. So how has our baby done on its first day? Well, as you can see, guys, it opened up at 15 and it went and it went down to 16.75 at a close. Pre-market, it's up 1.5%. At a lovely $17. So we've seen a $2 rise. Anyone, a game that has me on Instagram will have seen that I bought in on the Nasdaq, again, just a tiny bit, and people are asking, why was I buying? There's a lot of people that have been asking, I have all my money in Argo blockchain, what should I do? Should have watched the previous video. I didn't. I'm massively bullish on Argo blockchain, as you all know, but you all also know that I only had about 40% of my capital in, because it was on a knife edge. It could have went either way. I could have been going, missed out on a huge rise, boo-hoo, but that wasn't what happened. It went to Cape Town, and now I'm going, happy days. I can bring my average price down, buy more, and ride it up. The way the stock market works for me is every day there'll be gains. Every day there's stocks that you can gain on. You don't need to panic. You don't need to chase everything. You don't need to go A and B style. I've got nothing left. You can take a step back and phase in the money, and that's exactly what I plan to do with this dip. Now, we're waiting to hear from Peter Wall. We're waiting to hear from Argo. That, again, as I said in my previous video, depending on what maybe they say, could send the share price rock hard. It could also send it even further to Cape Town, so you have to be prepared for that. So I'm having a nibble. I've had a nibble at the prices currently. I'm sitting back. I'm only going to be buying if it dips, or perhaps if Peter Wall does come out and gives this brilliant news, and I go, wow, that's a brilliant fundamental change, perhaps something with Pluto or a new acquisition, I don't know, but if something like that happens, but then perhaps I will be buying at these prices, maybe even buying at a slight rise, depending on the news, okay? So that's the next scenario. We're looking for what comes out from Argo blockchain and have a nibble at these prices, but ultimately I would be doing nothing and letting the dust settle for the next week or so. We will see. It's a moving target depending on how the stock price moves. The 10-to-1 ratio. Let's strip this down. Hopefully this makes it a lot clearer. I'll get my trusty calculator out, guys. So say for talk's sake, $17. As you can see, it's opening up at $17. Okay, so we have $17. We divide that by 10, brings us to 170. Can you see that? Yeah. So that means Nasdaq price of $17, that converts, times divide that by 10 to bring it to $1.70 a share price. We can see yesterday we had a big sell-off, we fell below all our averages, guys, not good. Not what I wanted to see, not what I was hoping for. The MACD has crossed over, but this is a scenario that we prepared for, so I'm okay with it. Why am I okay with it? Because I understand what's happening. So we have it at $1.70 and the current price is $1.32. Let me just do this, dollars to pounds. I'm doing this really simple, so you can see how you work this out, guys. $1.70 translates to £1.24. So £1.24, if we go back to our AIB chart, we're at £1.32. As I was saying, these prices will all correlate and tie up. We, in my opinion, are slightly above the actual Nasdaq price, okay? Now this is a dirty way to work it out, but it should give you a gauge of how that translates. So if we go to a comment that was left by DW, big DW, you're a big supporter of the channel. I really do appreciate you, brother. Plenty of comments. 14 hours ago, guys, and again, I keep saying, look at the comments. Good questions can be answered in the comments. This is where it goes. ABRK is trading on 212. I says, I bought some more at 6%. This is 14 hours ago. It's dipping here though. Like the LSE, think the LSE will open up. I have it at £1.30. Where are we at? £1.31. So I do have an idea of what I'm talking about. To watch these videos and get an understanding, do not be investing your money with no clue what's going on. I seen a question yesterday going, why isn't my ARBK shares on the Nasdaq yet? Because it's not happening, guys. That was never a scenario. We knew that weeks ago. So please don't be spending your money, wasting your money when you have no clue what you're doing. It really scares me and gives me anxiety. They're never necessarily always going to be one's up 10%, they all go up 10%. Different time zones, different currencies. The Nasdaq, the ARB closes at 4:30. Don't forget the Nasdaq plays till 9 o'clock in UK time. All that time difference. Anything could happen. The next day when the LSE opens up, it has to adjust the suit. So they're never going to tie up. But if we strip it back and look back out over a week, if one goes up 10%, they all should go up about 10%. But on any given day, it's not going to tie up. So remember that. We talked about the short interest in my previous video. I put up a screenshot to say that the short interest going into the Nasdaq was down to 1560. It dropped to 1234, but the short interest now is shot up to nearly 37, guys. So bear that in mind. Short interest is pulling it down. We have to beat the bears. That was always a risk, and that is what's happening. If we look at the Arbkf, it had a brutal day, and I feel sorry for my American counterparts. I really do, because that is one hell of a gaping. I mean, the LSE is a bad enough drop, but that's brutal. To be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if there's more blood to come, because that should be tying up closer to the actual Nasdaq price, so bear that in mind. People are saying that they've been shafted. Short term, potentially you could be feeling a bit hard done by, especially if you're a long term holder and you've had on the pink sheets and you've had on the LSE. The Nasdaq's getting a good run. I'm 6% up on the Nasdaq price. So people that are only buying that on the first time on the Nasdaq are thinking, happy days, this is great, you're getting another 2% today. Argo blockchain to the moon. They're laughing. People that have been holding for a long time have been caught with their pants down. What can I say? You know, you had to prepare for it. That's why we did on this channel. I feel sorry for you guys, that's all I can do, but hopefully you are being prepared for it. And really, as I've said numerous times, this should be a long hold. Plenty of great things coming, so you really shouldn't worry about the short-term volatility. You should have your mindset switched. I can now buy this share price at 25% reduction, so fill your boots. That's just the way the mindset for me is become, and it takes time for that. It's hard seeing things go down. For me, Argo blockchain could go sideways and red. People were laughing in the group when I said that the other day. Don't be wishing for it to go down. I'm not wishing for it to go down. I'm not wishing for anything to go down. But I can see the positives when it goes down. I can now invest in the stock that I love at a cheaper price. Nothing has changed. Texas is still to come. Bitcoin's going to the moon. Bear in mind, Bitcoin's getting a beating. Don't forget that. If that turns around, so there is other things that we talked about in our video, all the uncertainty that's going on. By the way, Jerome Powell has done his meeting and he has says no tapering. As I said in my previous video as well, I did not expect it to go through. That has been the case. I said perhaps by the end of the year, we will have word of when it will be. He is saying it will be next year. We still might have a word though by the end of the year. And to top it all off, guys, we have news today that China is no longer accepting Bitcoin cryptocurrency transactions. Not entirely sure what that means. The latest reports, no one's quite sure. Does it mean just the transactions between friends, the transactions for buying people? What does it mean? We don't know. To be honest with you, quite nervy times, especially as an Argo blockchain holder and a Bitcoin holder. But China, law on its own, is doing mental, crazy things. I'm sure it'll be fine. Doesn't look like the share price has reacted too much. And not much has happened. Bitcoin has unfortunately pulled back about 9%, which affects Argo. Again, all of this, throw it into the big mix, and another reason why we will be phasing in our money. The company has not changed in any way. It is actually better today. It is better because we are now on the Nasdaq. We can open up the doors, more institutions, more retail investors. Be happy. I'm happy. A lot of the comments, a lot of people are genuinely happy. Well done to Peter Wall and Argo blockchain. For the rest of you guys, feel sorry for you if you took a bit of a burn. I just want to give a shout out to Sarah who bought me a coffee. I'm drinking it right now. It really does fuel me. Thanks for the videos. Love the content. Definitely helps the newbies. Good. I'm really happy. That's the kind of thing. That's the whole purpose of this channel, is to help sort of beginners right up to intermediates, in and around all those people, to try and share light on stocks and trading and all of that good stuff in between. And Argo blockchain is here to stay. Plenty more videos to come. If you do like the video, please like, subscribe. You can buy me a coffee. You can get free shares down below by clicking the link for free trade. Until next time, guys, enjoy the rest of your day and your weekend. Argo blockchain to the moon. Yeah.
Coincidence.
Yeah.
Coincidence.
Yeah.
Coincidence.
Something that happens by chance, I think not.